And what shall we have to do? Preach you all the time and nothing else? That is essential. Then you will have to absolve in my name and bless, readmit to grace, administer the sacraments that I will institute. What are they? They are supernatural and spiritual means, applied also through material means, which are used to convince men that the priest is really doing something. You know that man does not believe unless he sees. He always needs something to tell him that there is something. That is why, when I work miracles, I impose my hands, or I wet with saliva, or I give a morsel of soaked bread. I could work a miracle by means of a simple thought. But do you think that in that case, people would say, God has worked the miracle? They would say, the invalid is cured because it was time for him to be cured. And they would ascribe the merits to the doctor, or to medicines, or to the physical strength of the invalid. It's worth noting, if you read Pentecostal writings, you'll know they're very, very focused on miracle healings. And they pay attention to this question of the different methods that Jesus uses when he's working a miracle. Well, Jesus has made it plain here today. There's nothing that's necessary in terms of laying on of hands or using saliva or giving bread, or perhaps, as we know, wetting some mud with his saliva and putting that over the eyes of the person. All that matters is Jesus could think and the miracle would happen. But as he set out, there are reasons for not just doing that. The same will apply to sacraments, religious formalities to administer grace, or give it again, or fortify it in believers. John, for instance, used to immerse sinners into water to symbolise cleanness from sin. In actual fact, the mortification of confessing oneself unclean because of sins committed was more useful than the water that washed over the body. I will have a baptism as well, my baptism, which will not be only a symbol, but will really cleanse a soul of the original sin and give back to it the spiritual state that Adam and Eve possessed before they sinned, a state which is now improved because it will be granted through the merits of the man-God. But water does not descend upon the soul. A soul is spiritual. Who can touch it in a newborn baby, in an adult, or in an old person? Nobody. See? You admit that water is a material means, with no effect on a spiritual thing. So it will not be the water, but the word of the priest, a member of the Church of Christ, consecrated in his service, or the word of another true believer, who may replace him in exceptional cases, that will work the miracle of redeeming the baptized person from original sin. All right, but man commits sins of his own. Who will remove the other sins? It will always be the priest, James. If an adult is baptized, also the other sins will be removed with the original one. If a man has been baptized and he commits sins, the priest will absolve him in the name of God, one and trine, and through the merits of the incarnate word, as I do with sinners. But you are holy. You must be holy, because you touch holy things, and you administer what belongs to God.